Good morning. I'm Xavier Molina from Universitat Jaume I, and I've prepared this paper and this presentation with my colleague Luís Martínez-Cháfer and David Valiente from the same university. The context of this research is a study of the case of the Valencian ceramic tile industry, because we understood that this is a very specific case with a very specific eco-challenge because of the consideration of this cluster as a high thermal and electric energy consumer, and also water, raw material, and also very high air pollution. The research gap of this paper is we understood that when we analyzed the previous research, we found that most of these studies are about sustainability, are single company cases using internal and functional and dyadic level of analysis. And this is obviously not the case of the ceramic tile cluster. So, in consequence, the research objective of this paper is to build a theoretical basis to explain how, in cluster, actors like supporting organization, suppliers, and net product companies use green innovation to transform themselves in order to face this very important, very critical environmental challenge. In our conceptual development, we define green innovation, and we also distinguish between process and product green innovation, because it's very important in the context of our research. And we analyze also in our reviewing of the previous research the reason behind sustainability firm strategy. It's true that traditionally companies also develop these strategies as a consequence of the very high regulation by governmental agencies. But also we found that in many corporations, the dynamics of their social responsibility is changed and introduced this new objective, this new challenge. And a third factor that explains the importance of this green innovation are the market pressure. The market started to recognize and give importance to this product, to this strategy. And finally, and probably the most important for us, is the consideration that apart from this regulation and social responsibility consideration, company understood finally that green strategy and green innovation can become a determinant of their competitive advantage. This is our point also. About the paper, we use a theoretical road or itinerary, and we start with the consideration that it's better to an approach from the networking view about the green innovation, not the individual agent, not the individual company. Apart from that, we analyze and characterize the particularities of the innovation process in the industrial cluster, and then we identify the cluster as a social network. This is very important to integrate the whole framework. And finally, as a consequence of this identification of cluster as a social network, we apply the configuration of the social capital, bonded and bridging social capital in cluster. The results of this integration between social capital and cluster tradition or literature, we found some factor inside the cluster that benefits or favor the creation of the bonded capital on the one hand and the bridging capital in the other. With respect to the bonded capital, physical proximity, share values, non-business relationship, cluster internal mobility of the human resources, spin-off, and common academic background of the technician and manager are all of them factors that benefit and favor the creation of this bonded capital. Yes, everybody knows this bonded capital generate is important, particularly for the exploitation strategy, and as a consequence, an output of this exploitation strategy in terms of innovation is the incremental innovation. And the values that generate this social capital is trust, low-cost transaction, and diffusion of the tacit knowledge and diffusion of the high-quality information. On the other hand, the characterization of the cluster also favors the creation of bridging capital. In this case, we found leader firms, maybe firms in the periphery of the network, technological gatekeeper, and also, why not, the intermediary local institution, association, organization, supporting association, etc., that connect the external network with the interior of the cluster network. As a result of this configuration, these companies can develop the exploration strategy, and the results can be a radical innovation. And the benefits of this configuration of the social capital are new ideas, information, knowledge, certain degree of exclusivity in these ideas, information, of knowledge. So with this previous explanation of this kind of application of the social capital configuration on the case of the cluster, we propose this general framework to analyze the green innovation strategy and the green innovation product in the context of industrial cluster. Here, in the transparency, in this table, we propose in detail all characteristics, maybe just summarize that both bonded and bridging social capital in a complementary way propose and suggest many possibilities for the development of these green and eco strategies. All these ideas, all this framework, we apply we have applied in the case of the ceramic tile industry. As probably you know, this is a very relevant cluster in the context of our region. In fact, it's this very small, geographically small concentration of about 20 square kilometer area concentrate around the 90% of the total national production of ceramic tile, and both flow and and not also for an application in the building sector, even for the related sector. So it's another characteristic is that it's a very international market focus. It's around the 75% of the total sales, and also not only the sales of the end product, also some provider, some supplier of the cluster, like Enable and Fritz product as a second activity in the cluster. Also performance in a very high rate of exportation, about 70-80% of the total sales. This is a graph of the recent evolution of the sales of the and production of the cluster. It's obviously was a very dramatic impact in the last crisis, 2008 crisis, but before the pandemic crisis, the cluster recovers part of the impact, the negative impact in the previous crisis. This is a representation of the 4 different actions that we can find in the cluster, that all of them are related to the creation of the both bonded and bridging social capital. And we can find final firms, integrated firms, specialized firms, and also a very complete number of local institutions and supporting organizations. This is a graph that represents the production process. The only thing maybe that in the context of our research is important is to know that all phases of the process require a high consumption of energy. This is, as we told before, a very important characteristics in terms of equal challenge of the cluster. And we, in order to apply our theoretical framework and a consequence to study some of the characteristics of these strategies and products in the cluster, we use different sources of information. We distribute some questionnaire to a selected sample of not only companies, also institutions and associations. And also we use a complementary source of information and data that was particularly the corporate webs of the cluster association. And a third and final source of information was some recent literature and in technical field that helped to us to understand the nature of this innovation in process, this innovation in product. In fact, we analyze firstly different product and process innovation during the last period of times, and we distinguish between green product and green process innovation, and we analyze and identify all of them. And particularly, we were interested in understand who were the key driver actions of all of these green strategies. the result of this analysis was that we identified two different categories of green strategies or green innovation. First was the reduction of the environmental impact of the ceramic tile manufacturing process, we identify as process innovation, and on the other hand, the creation of eco ceramic tile products, product innovation. This is a table where we represent we show all strategies, green strategies that we analyze and identify, process innovation strategies. And as a summary, we identify 9 innovation, 7 of these innovation lead by a single action, in some cases a supporting organization, in other cases a final company, and in other cases local technological institution. And two of these innovation were led by cooperation between different actors, not a single actor. With respect to the reduction of pollution in generation, we identify 2 different innovations, both were led by a cooperation between different actors. Okay, so that for us was very important the participation of different actions in the generation of this innovation, because we understand that they use the exploitation of these strategies were shared for all actions, all actors of the cluster, but maybe it's important to emphasize that even the creation, the generation of this innovation were the result of a collaboration more than a single action. With respect to the product innovation, we identify in this case a number of them. This is the summary, 6 different product innovation. In this case, half of them were led by a single action, a final company, and the rest of the innovation were led by a cooperation between different actions. So in this case, we found similar consequence of this process. Not in most of the cases was innovation where the result of a collaboration more than an action of an individual company. Even assuming that even in the case of a single company creation, the use of this innovation were spread for all the cluster. So to conclude our presentation, for us, the main conclusion was that in contrast with probably most of the studies on the sustainability, we presented a different point of view, the point of view of the collective networking experience, more than a single company case. And we believe that we provide a theoretical basis to explain how is this process of creation and generation of innovation, where participate different types of actors, organization, association, different supplier, and end product company. And in this case, we finally found a very interesting list or group of green product strategies in this particular case, green products and green process strategies. And maybe the limitation is due to the single case study. Obviously, the bias of the they use only one case, limit our capacity, the capacity of the resource to be generalized to other contexts. And probably in the future, in order to overcome this previous limitation, we need to explore other specific factors associated to the successful sustainability performance. In the future, we'll try to find some correlation between this factor and the performance of the company in the cluster. So that is all for us, and thank you for your attention, and comment and question are welcome.